guys, I'm Anne-Marie, I'm with Mindjoy, and I'm here with another everyday simple mental health insight, and I need to address the pandemic of fear that is happening with coronavirus. Why is it that although 17.8 million people die each year from heart disease, another 1.4 million die from diabetes, hundreds of thousands are impacted by influenza every year, that we are so fixated on a global scale on this virus that is currently impacting the thousands? I believe the reason is in the name, the novel coronavirus. Novel meaning new and unknown. Research has shown that when a threat is exotic and unknown, like Ebola, avian flu, and now coronavirus or COVID-19, it actually triggers a different psychological threat button in our brain that creates a more intense fear response. So if you're feeling afraid and anxious, you have good reason to. It's an unknown threat. So again, even though influenza has impacted hundreds of thousands in North America alone last year, we all know someone who recovered from it. And therefore, it's a known threat and it doesn't trigger us in the same way as a novel coronavirus. So I want to talk about some of the issues we have with anxiety with coronavirus and ways that we can address it together. Let's get through this together. The first one is social fear. We are social beings and we look to one another to determine what is dangerous and what is not. And with this virus, we've been looking to one another and we've said it's dangerous. And what we've done is we've actually created more panic and more fear by what we post on social media and things we say to one another. All you have to do is pull up your feed and you see the fear. Panic buying at grocery stores is a perfect example of social fear. So what can we do about this? Restrict social media. It's that simple. Limit your amount of intake because the more you feed on that, the more anxiety you're going to feed. The next problem we have is anticipatory anxiety. That's when we are anxious about something that we're anticipating. And coronavirus, people are anticipating it. Is it going to get in my backyard? Am I going to be impacted by it? And many people are scared of it even though they don't actually know anyone that's been directly impacted. They are anticipating the anxiety about it. Buying 2 years worth of toilet paper is an example of anticipatory anxiety and looking for something they can control to combat it. So what else can we do to handle anticipatory anxiety? Find other things we can control. For example, buying enough toilet paper and enough supplies to get you through. You can hydrate yourself, nourish yourself, get enough sleep, boost your immune system. These are things that we can control. We can't control the virus, but we can control our response and how we cope with the anxiety that we have about it. Isolation is another problem. Social distancing is our new buzzword, and it is helpful to prevent the furthering of disease if we isolate from one another. However, that is not helpful for anxiety. We are social beings, we desire connection, and connection, even for introverts, actually diffuses anxiety. So what can we do when we need to quarantine and we need to be isolated from one another? Although you're isolating physically, let's not isolate emotionally and spiritually. Let's find ways to connect with people. Call that loved one that you've been meaning to connect with for a long time. I have friends that played a card game online the other day and I thought that was a great idea. In my neighborhood, we did a scavenger hunt for kids by putting things up in our windows and they went around and took pictures. There was no physical connection, but there was a lot of socialization. Find creative ways to stay connected. Another problem we have is a fear of focus. Everywhere you look, everyone's talking about it. I went to the grocery store and the cashiers were talking about it. The other customers were talking about it. It's something that everybody's fixated on. So what do we do about that? We need to shift our focus. Focus on what really matters. Family, friends, faith. Focus on things you're thankful for and watch your language. Our brain listens to what our mouth has to say. So if we're speaking pandemic, epidemic, coronavirus, disease, threat, if we're saying these things over and over, recession, you name it, we are thinking about it over and over and it becomes our focus. So instead, reframe and focus on positive things and speak positive things to redirect your focus. Overactive emotions are another problem. Anxiety, fear, and stress all create overactive emotions that we feel physically as well as emotionally. So what do we do about that? We channel that energy into something creative. Work on that project you've been waiting to do. Put up that backsplash. Reorganize. Purge, learn a new language, go on YouTube to learn a new skill. You could learn to build a house if you wanted to. Write that blog. Find something to do where you can channel negative energy into something creative and it will help alleviate your stress and anxiety. And obviously one of the biggest problems with coronavirus is the threat of illness and some people have gotten sick. So what can we do about that? We can lower our risk. Keep on top of that hand washing. I know you've heard it everywhere and a lot of people are really underestimating the power of it. It seems like too little of a thing for such a big threat, but the truth is it really is the best thing you could be doing. And do other things to boost your immune system. Drink those fluids, eat healthy. Stress causes us to want sugar, don't go there. Stay with a healthy diet. Get fresh air, sleep, laugh, have fun. All these things are going to improve your health and put you at lower risk. And finally, please remember that as human beings, we are resilient. We have gotten through things before and we will get through them again. We've gotten through SARS, through MERS. Every year we get through the flu, we will get through coronavirus. What's our legacy going to be this time next year? We look back and reflect on this. Are we going to see the pandemonium, or are we going to see how we banded together, even though we were isolated physically, that we banded together as a united front against this illness and against anxiety, that we encouraged one another, lifted each other up, and looked after one another? I hope that's our legacy. Hold on to hope. A study was done in 2014 at Carleton University that found that those who perceived a threat as having a negative outcome didn't tolerate it as well as those who perceived that they were going to have a positive outcome. So hope is powerful. Keep on to hope, expect positive outcomes, and you will be better equipped to handle this threat. Thanks guys, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to publish another video on lots of ways to cope with anxiety because I know this is a very anxiety-provoking time. Please take care guys, and I wish you peace, happiness, and a life full of joy. Bye guys.